Let's move on now and talk about the consumption space. The festive season is right around the corner. Tomorrow we have Ganpati that begins, and then of course a slew of festivals, and people are of course going to go out there and spend. So how is demand for consumer durables shaping up, and has the consumer sentiment picked up? Nilesh Gupta, Director of Vijay Sales, and Kamal Nandi, Business Head and EVP at Godrej Appliances, joins us now. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Nilesh, the demand has really, surged through the roof. I mean, people have not spent money, I think, in the last 2 years. So that whole pent-up demand is flowing through right now. But you tell us, how is the situation on the ground? Where are you seeing the maximum demand come through from?
Good morning, everybody. I think this year is going to be one of the very good years for consumer durable industries overall, because what we saw on 15th August also, it was one of the best weekend, I would say, which we have seen in the last 4-5 years. And I think primarily the reason is basically because COVID is behind us. Economy is looking up. There's a lot of buzz in a lot of areas, industry specific, where I think salaries are going high, hitting the roof. So overall, it's a positive sentiment. And this year, I think the demand is going to be there across all the segments. So for the first time, we may not see that demand in specific segments. So be it appliances, large appliances, small appliances, be it telecom, communication has always been in demand, mobiles and laptops, and even your television screens. And the best part, what we are seeing this year is a lot of ASPs are going up at the average selling price. So people are buying premium products, people are buying bigger products. That's also one of the offshoot of post-pandemic, where when people are locked up in the house for longer duration, they realized now they would not want to compromise on the consumer durable products in their homes. So overall, things are looking very good for the season coming ahead.
Okay, right. Well, I think we all a bit, shocked when you said salaries are going through the roof. For at least one section of
what are you planning to do with that?
For some specific industries.
Sorry, what did you say? For some specific industries, which ones are they?
Especially software.
Okay.
No, I mean, but that is, yeah, I mean, for some segments, maybe. Nilesh, just to sort of press on that point, phones as a segment, right? So we had data from a couple of companies. Actually, we had industry data also recently, which showed that I think in the month of July, there were steep falls. The quarter itself, there were very steep falls, quarter on quarter, year on year as well, in smartphone sales. What does that indicate, Nilesh?
So basically what has happened in smartphones, now smartphones currently basically depends upon how many launches happens every month. The more the number of launches, the greater the sale happens. So in July, if you see, the launches were not so many. But now in this coming month of Diwali, we'll see all the brands launching their models, and that should give the boost to the sale. Plus, secondly, people are also wondering about the 5G thing is there, when it's coming, when it's not coming. So they're on the fringe, but I don't think so that's that much of matter. It all depends upon the number of launches every month.
Mr. Nandi, could you give us a sense how are things looking? I mean, this is a very income elastic kind of space, right? And they're also high ticket, the ticket values are large, anything between 15,000 to 50,000-60,000 rupees. Is demand robust, and which are segments where they're robust and where are they soft?
So good morning, everyone. So I think if you segregate the market into mass and premium, you see a very different trend in the last 3 months, I would say, post 15th of May or second half of May. So clearly, because of the inflationary trend, we are seeing the mass segment demand going down. It is actually degrowing over last year significantly. And the degrowth is to the extent of anywhere between 18 to 20%. Whereas if you look at the premium segment, which is inelastic to this inflationary trend, there we are clearly seeing growth and across markets and across categories. And the growth is as high as 30% plus. So a clear demarcation between the two segments. And also, if you look at the consumer sentiments, I think there is a data which was published by CMIE somewhere around mid of May, which also tells with different trends or similar trends, I would say, that in the mass segment, the consumer sentiments are weak, and whereas in the premium segment, the consumer sentiments are better. So we can clearly expect that going forward, this trend to continue. Yes, there has
this is not
been
category
spike
agnostic, right? This is across categories. I mean,
across categories.
in ACs, lower end are suffering, higher end premium segment is doing well. Everything,
Yes.
refrigerators, everything across the board.
AC as a category is largely for premium. The mass segment consumption is anyway low. But if you look at refrigerators, if you look at washing machines, I think a similar story is there in both these segments,
Okay, so-
both these categories.
So both Nilesh and Kamal are talking about how premium products are seeing higher demand.
Yes.
Nilesh, I want to understand what's happening in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because there is this whole rural-urban divide, right? The mass market has still not bounced back in a big way. Inflation is hitting pockets very hard, while the premium end of the market is seeing it's a whole different ball game. I mean, demand has hit the roof there. Tell us, in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, consumer sentiment as good?
So basically, Vijay Sales is not present in tier 3 cities, but whatever I've got from feedback from the brands and all, they are doing reasonably good. And one good thing which is happening now is all the finance companies, the paper finance companies, are lowering the bar for the entry into consumer durable finance for the consumers. So I think that should possibly give us a flip to the mass segment, where we are seeing a little bit worry in that segment. So I think once the finance companies lower the bar, and they already started doing it, Bajaj Finserv has already started doing it, IDFC is doing it. So I think this thing should boost over there. But overall, the premium segment is definitely doing much better.
Mr. Nandi said 18 to 20%. I mean, that is not small, right, Nilesh?
Yes. That's the growth over last year. Yeah.
So that basically, frankly,
18 to 20% degrowth, not growth. Yeah, go on.
So that basically, I think, could be a phenomenon for rural where we are not present. In the cities where we...
The metro and Taiwan.
Sure.
And what you see, what Nilesh has been reporting is right, that city markets definitely is showing growth because the premium segment is driving growth. Whereas the rural market is showing growth because the mass segment is degrowing. I think that's a very clear trend that is emerging.
All right.
Now, having said that, I think what Nilesh said is right, that we did see spikes in the mass segment also during the Independence Week. And it is expected, even Onam is expected to show some huge spike of demand.
Maybe with the festive season coming on, things will improve.
Correct. Onam is also an indicator, and between 1st and 8th, we are expecting a spike in demand in Onam also.
Got it.
So similar can be expected in Dussehra and Diwali.
All right. We unfortunately have to sort of wrap this up here, but would love to have both of you back with more insights and detailed discussion. Mr. Nandi, Nilesh, thanks very much for joining in on the program. Thank you very much. Really helpful to get that sense.